The Olympic Games in Milano Cortina are right around the corner, and I'm pleased to be joined today by a member of the 2022 gold medal winning Canadian women's hockey team. She also captured a silver medal in 2018 in Pyeongchang. Currently a member of the PWHL's Vancouver Golden Eyes, she is once again teaming up with Sobeys as part of the Feed the Dream campaign, supporting our Canadian athletes as they push towards their goals at the upcoming games in Italy. Pleased to speak today with Sarah Nurse. Sarah, thanks so much for doing this.
Hi, of course. Thank you for having me.
Now, I recently spoke with speed skater Isabel Weideman, who is also part of the Sobeys Feed the Dream campaign, and she spoke about how it has helped her reach her goals at the Olympics. You're back with Sobeys again, as I mentioned. What has this partnership meant for you and your Olympic pursuits?
Yeah, I think it's been so supportive. It's very fitting that Sobeys has been so supportive of my Olympic dream, because really what resonates with me is there's so much about like what's going on behind me, the team behind the team, and so to be able to celebrate my family and the community that's gotten me to the place that am at today has been so special. And again, like I can't thank Sobeys enough to be part of the Feed the Dream campaign going into Milan. I'm so excited.
Now, one thing that's great about the Olympics is just how much Canadians get behind our athletes and bond over these games with national pride. When you're over there competing, are you seeing the watch parties around the country or reading the comments and messages on social media about the excitement and support around the team?
Yeah, it's so interesting because there's been so much like national pride, within the last year, but like so many years, especially around the Olympics. And so in Beijing, when you're competing, or when I'm competing at least, like I want to kind of shield that noise a little bit and kind of keep myself in my own little bubble and my competitive bubble. But once the games are over and you kind of look back and you go and you see just how people have responded to the Olympic Games and your sport, it's huge. Like it's magnified. Seeing everybody has an Olympic story, and coming out of Beijing, having won the gold medal, everybody has a gold medal game story that they love to share with me. And so I think that that's probably the coolest bit. I get to hear about people, where they were, who they were with, what stuck out to them in the game. And so I think that that's been the coolest part, is getting to hear everybody has the Olympics has impacted everybody.
Do you remember the first Olympic hockey that you ever watched when you were a kid?
Yeah, I do. I have a very vague memory of 2002 watching the women win golds in Salt Lake City. And I remember my grandparents, they sat me down and were like, "You like hockey? These girls play hockey too." And up until that point, I thought I was the only girl who played hockey. And so that was definitely a pivotal moment for me, thinking that, wow, there are girls who play hockey. They're also on TV and they get to play for Team Canada. And so that was a really special moment for me, that I have little memories of, but definitely made a big impact when I was 7.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, representation matters, and seeing those women do what they did on the national stage, international stage, I should say, was pretty exciting. And now you've gotten to be a part of it. 2 Olympics under your belt at this point. The opening ceremonies is always such a special moment for any Olympian. What do you remember about those times you walked into the stadiums in Pyeongchang and Beijing?
Yeah, Pyeongchang, I remember just how cold it was. And it's so funny, like that day, like you get so excited and amped up for opening ceremonies, and it is so cool. But seeing the sheer amount of athletes and staff that are here representing their respective countries, you don't really realize. We always think that there are so many Canadians who get to, go to the Olympics in comparison to some other smaller countries, but there are just so many incredible athletes who are so excited and so ready to represent their country. And there's no greater feeling than walking behind your flag. In 2022, my teammate Marie Philippe Poulin, she was the flag bearer as we went in. And so we actually got to be right behind her as we walked in. And so to walk in as they were announcing us, all of the lights, all of the people, I have like goosebumps thinking about it, because it's one of those things that you see on TV, but to be there is it's a whole different experience.
Yeah, I think, speaking to former Olympians, I think what I'm most surprised about just how much waiting there is, and you're sort of being shuttled
It's hurry up
around.
and wait. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of standing around because on
Yeah.
TV, when we watch it at home, it just feels like you show up, you do your
Yeah.
walk, you sit down, and you wait it out. But like you said, it's a long day, it's a long process, but it is very enjoyable. 2018, you guys win the silver medal. 4 years later, you capture gold. You yourself setting Olympic records in the process for most points and most assists in a single women's tournament. Just how big of an emotional difference was it from your 2018 experience and how that ended compared to 2022?
Yeah, I think the beauty of the Olympics is that every single experience is different. 2018, it was my first Olympic Games. Like there was so much like my eyes were wide open. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how, this would have an impact on my life or if I was just going to go over play a couple hockey games and come back. But going in 2018, I remember I was just so excited because it's something that you dream about for your whole entire life. And getting a silver medal, like there was a silver lining with that because I really do think it has helped us as a country and as a hockey team to be the best possible team that we could be. And then in 2022, I went in it with just the same mentality, the same excitement, but it was different because I'd been there before. I knew what to expect. I knew the different distractions to expect because there are a lot of distractions when you go to the Olympics and you're supposed to be at your peak performance at that point. And so you have to be able to manage that and to be able to come home with a gold medal. Um, Obviously, the medal color was different, the emotions around that were different. But what I've come to understand is that when you go to represent Canada at the Olympics, like you come home and everybody loves you, regardless of if you got a gold, silver, bronze, or no medal.
Yeah, and I do want to talk about that experience of coming home in a moment. But it's hard not to feel emotional at home. When we're watching Canada play for the athletes and Team Canada is winning a gold at a competition. When you won in 22, did you have a plan for what you're going to do when Canada played, or are you just kind of vibing with what your teammates are doing and just going with the flow?
Yeah, in 2022, I'm not sure if something happened after the game, but it took forever for us to get lined up and to get our medals. It's obviously a little bit different with hockey because you have the gold and silver medal winning teams on the ice, but they have to bring the team that won bronze from wherever they are in the arena. So they actually bring that team on the ice. So I remember we were just sprinting around the ice, so happy, celebrating, screaming, laughing. And so when everybody finally got on the ice and they gave us our Olympic medals, and because it was COVID, nobody else gave us our medals. We actually had to give them to each other. And so I think
Mm.
that that was probably the most special part because we're in numerical order. I got my medal from Brianne Jenner, which was very special because she's somebody who I've looked up to for a very long time and has been such a steady presence, a steady leader in our locker room. And then I got to turn and give Ashton Bell, who was a rookie that year, her medal. And it was just so special because you share that moment with those two people. And I don't think I'll ever forget that moment. And then when the national anthem is playing, like I don't even think I heard the national anthem. I was just screaming the lyrics of the national anthem because so much emotion and so much pride takes over.
When you put it that way, it almost makes it seem like that should be the way it's done, where teammates hand the medals down to
Yeah.
their teammates. It just seems more fitting that way.
Yeah.
Now, after the game or any game, there's a walk back to the dressing room for the players, and you have to go through the mix zone where all the media is waiting. What's your strategy there? Are you avoiding eye contact if maybe things haven't gone well, or are you willing to speak win or lose?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you can't avoid eye contact to get out of the mix zone. They won't let you by. We have some pretty awesome professionals in our communications team. So our PR is actually, her name's Esther. She's phenomenal. She's very organized on top of it. Like she will grab you and say, listen, this is who needs to talk to you, A, B, and C, and you're going in. So I remember after the Olympics, like the mix zone, or after the gold medal game, the mix zone was just packed. And so Esther was grabbing people left, right, and center. It was like, Nursey, these are your media people. You're going to talk to them. But yeah, win or lose, we're going through the mix zone. And even if you hang your head, you're not getting through it.
No, the media being a member of that, I understand. We appreciate when the athletes are willing to help us do our job. So you mentioned, returning home with the gold medal in 2022, and I'm always curious what life is like when an Olympian returns home, whether it's a successful games or not. Was there an adjustment period for you in either 2018 or especially 2022?
Yeah, there definitely was. Like, I remember we had a chat before 2018 about distractions and social media and, how, you start to become known and your life will change just because of the nature of our world. And I just remember thinking, like, man, this is not going to apply to me. Like, I'm going to be totally fine. I'm going to come out of this Olympics. And I remember like overnight you just like gain thousands of followers and people are wanting to keep up with you and know more about your story. And so after 2018 I was kind of like, whoa, okay, I have more eyes on me. And then going into 22, so much had changed. I think I had become more of a presence on social media. And so I think that more people were looking to me, I guess, to maybe chat with, speak to, and they probably knew my name on the team, along with some others. And so coming back after 2022, I remember I was on the GO train with my dad, coming downtown to Toronto, and it was packed. Like everybody kept coming to our car because they wanted to talk to me. And so it was very overwhelming in that moment, but it also goes to show like how in the spotlight women's hockey was in 2022, which was also super gratifying.
Yeah, shout out to the Go Train. Didn't think we'd be talking about the Go Train today, but
Oh yeah,
always
my
love.
family loves the GO train, so
It's definitely one of the best ways to get around
yeah,
the GTA. That is
loves
for
the GO
sure.
train.
I cannot deny that. But look, last one for you. I know it's been a tough last few months for you injury wise. Where did things stand on that front at this moment as you try to work your way back?
Yeah, of course. Take every day as it is. You progress, you get better. You stay confident in yourself. You make sure you have good community surrounding you, and just looking forward to the next few weeks for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Sarah, I know I can say this for a lot of Canadian hockey fans. We're wishing you nothing but the best in 2026. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you, of course.